Wrestling fans, what's going on, man? It's Black Couch Booking here with a brand new video. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. I promise you will not be disappointed. And as always, if you're old to the channel, Couch Crew, what's going on, man? Hope you guys are having a great day today. Wanted to come at y'all with a brand new video today, and I wanted to talk about Asuka, man. So please join my Discord. Links in the description, man. Please follow me on Instagram at Real Black Couch Booking, and the Patreon will return June 1st. So I'm ready to get right into it. What made me think about this is I've been looking at the success of Iyo Sky recently, and not even just recently, ever since she won the Smackdown Women's Championship. And I've really been following Iyo Sky closely because I've started in my mind to draw parallels to Asuka's WWE career. And I will say that WWE has failed Asuka. I've talked about this many times in the past, and I'm just curious and I'm just like confused as to how we got to this point with Asuka. Asuka should be, as far as the women go, I think Asuka should be like a Brock Lesnar type of threat to the women's division all year round. Where Brock Lesnar has lost to the Seth Rollins, to the Roman Reigns, to all those people, but it takes someone really, really big to overcome Brock Lesnar, or some nonsense got to happen for him to lose. I think Asuka should have been that from the jump. She's injured right now. 2024, if I'm not mistaken, let me win-loss record 8-20, if I'm not mistaken. 8-21 in 2024. Wins and losses aren't the biggest deal in WWE because they don't really keep track of that. We the ones who keep track of things like that. They only keep track of losses if it's a part of a story. But 2017, she was 93-0. I think that was during the NXT run where she was undefeated. Undefeated, then came to the main roster, was undefeated on the main roster, finally lost to Charlotte Flair. And for me, that's when things took a very strange turn. Looking back at it now, I didn't have a problem with it when it happened because I'm like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You don't gotta have somebody be undefeated for, forever, you know what I'm saying? Just because she was undefeated at NXT. But now that I look at it, I think that was the catalyst to Asuka not having the career that I think she should have had in the WWE. And she's had a solid career thus far. Let's not get it messed up. However, like I said, I think if you need someone to be that big of a threat, it's not that she gotta have this physical stature, but Asuka as an individual was just the way they booked her as so skilled. They booked her as people were scared of her because she was so technically sound and gifted that no one could beat her. You book someone that good, and then look where we've gone to where she had a win-loss record of 8-21 in 2024. Her win-loss record should be positive every year. Not saying she shouldn't take L's. I mean, it's 365 days in the year. You know what I'm saying? So like in 2023, her win-loss record was 35 wins, 25 losses. She has more wins, but even that's a little OD. Whereas in 2021, she was 9-16, 2022, 27-34. 2019, she was 86-32. Like something like that is a good record to me. Obviously, she dealt with injuries and have time off during some of those years, but it just doesn't feel right. I just feel like Oscar should have been a big deal, like a bigger deal, because now what I'm thinking about now, when she comes back, that would be a great opponent for Iyo Sky to go against, so we could finally really get that match that we always wanted. They've clashed before, but it's never like meant something. Like just like what I always felt like Andrade and Santos Escobar should have a match one-on-one that actually means something and it's like big stakes in it. Not necessarily for a title, but like turn a whole feud and rivalry into it, which is what I hope they're doing now. But I feel like we need to get that for Oscar and Iyo, but is it gonna mean anything at this point? I'm expecting EO to win if that happens. Me personally, I'm expecting EO Sky to take the win. And I bring up EO Sky because you know what? I think they cracked the code with EO Sky. I think they figured out finally how to book. Hmm, I'll say Japanese women for now. Shinsuke Nakamura will be talked about in this video as well, but I don't see Julia having a problem on the main roster as far as this. I think they're gonna put Julia in a position where our expectations won't be so high that we'll be disappointed that she didn't get a women's world championship on the main roster. They're gonna book Julia in a position where, okay, her going after the women's United States championship makes sense. Her and Shinsuke Nakamura, the first blah 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 Japanese people to be United States champions in the last year. They'll make up some stupid stat or whatever the case may be. But I don't think they're gonna do Julia dirty because I think that they learned from Iyo Sky, and I think that the whole barrier of because all they are going to say Oscar can never be the top blah 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 because the English blah blah blah. But look what Io Sky's doing right now. Iyo Sky's on fire, and I hate to use recency bias, but even though her SmackDown Women's Championship, the only reason why that run wasn't a great run is because they made it more about Bayley. But you see her as the women's world champion, even having the clash with Rhea and Bianca, the interest in Iyo Sky is still at an all-time high. They didn't steal the show from Iyo Sky. People actually started feeling sympathy for Iyo Sky, which I'll give them that. I didn't like Triple Threat because I went in one-on-one with Bianca and Rhea, but that was some good booking because now Iyo is bigger than ever. And now she's talking more in the ring. Now, you know what I'm saying? People are doing her emote, you know what I'm saying? So now it's kind of getting to that point where they might not want to take that belt off of her anytime soon, but you might want to give us that Asuka match. This is a dream match that actually means something that people's wanted to see for a long time. You could break up Damage Control because Damage Control is officially broken up, in my opinion. I mean, if Asuka and Kairi Sane come back, what they gonna do for Iyo Sky? Iyo Sky don't need nobody no more, in my opinion. Now she's holding her own. You feel me? And that just brings me to the point of Asuka, man. They really dropped the ball with Asuka. Like I said, bro, she don't gotta be a champion all the time, don't gotta be dominant all the time, but those times that she's taken off and come back, you see that they try to put her right back in that position of we're supposed to believe that she's still this big deal. Like when she came back and she came back with the face paint, I think it was at one of the Royal Rumbles when she first came back and she had the face paint that she had in New Japan. I was like, oh, this is the Oscar that I've been waiting for. And, for a while she was dominant. She was, she won her the Raw Women's Championship again, if I'm not mistaken. Then Bianca took it back or something of that nature at WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken. But it just fell flat. Becky Lynch, being pregnant and then just giving Asuka the belt. I think that they should have just vacated the belt with Becky, and then Asuka has the briefcase. Whoever is the number one contender, Asuka cashes in and makes it a triple threat match. To this day, it was a sentimental moment, where real life clashes with wrestling, but I still think that was a bad look for Asuka because at that time, Asuka's mystique was kind of not the same. Like, I think that her cashing in, and she didn't just cash in to cheat or cash in to be sneaky. She cashed in and made it a match would have been way more impactful than just giving her the belt. To me, that belt, if people got a asterisk on the bubble ring, with the Lakers one, which I don't because that's stupid, but I would put an asterisk on that title ring because you were just gifted the belt. We haven't had a good just gifted the belt storyline in a very long time, and in that, and then like the sentimental value of Becky Lynch doing that was cool, but it didn't do Asuka any favors. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't Asuka like? Let me look at her WrestleMania record real quick. She got to be one in something. Got to be like 1-7 or something like that. Asuka is 0-5 at WrestleMania. I could have sworn she was 0-6. She wasn't at WrestleMania 40. Oh, she wasn't. Her WrestleMania record is 0-5. That is absolutely nasty. She shouldn't have lost the first WrestleMania against Charlotte Flair. That's number one. She lost against Charlotte. She lost the four-way tag team match. I don't really care about that. Um, she lost in the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't really, honestly, I wouldn't really count that either, but whatever. She lost to the man. This is crazy, bro. No, she's 0-6. I know I wasn't tripping, y'all. I was somebody on Reddit don't know what to talk about. Let me get the official, bro. Lost to Charlotte Flair, lost the Women's Battle Royal, lost to Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross tag team match. WrestleMania 37, she was injured. Lost to Rhea Ripley, lost to Bianca Belair, lost to yeah, it was a three-way tag team match. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi. I knew I wasn't tripping. I'm about to say she's 0-6. I don't know what they was giving me before. They was giving me some nonsense. I'm like, what? She wasn't in Andre Giant Battle Royal. That's for men. But anyway, yeah, with that being said, y'all. It, it it's a failure, bro. But she's not the only one, bro. I think Kyrie Sane is in trouble too. And I'm not saying that everybody got to be the super duper dominant, super duper force to be a successful career. Because some people's ceiling is mid card, some people's ceiling is low card, but they can still have an impact. Like I'm a Jamie Noble fan. I like Jamie Noble to this day. Jamie Noble was never nothing crazy. I like Chavo's runs, and he was never nothing crazy. His highest thing was ECW champion, but the WWE version. You know what I'm saying? As far as the women goes, Somebody like a Dakota Kai still had redeemable qualities to me from her work in NXT, even though she didn't win a singles women's championship. It's like, but her ceiling was her ceiling. I never expected her to come on the main roster to become the WWE Women's Champion, but it's still respectable. But someone like a Asuka, who was given championship runs, who was booked so dominant in NXT, who was booked as really like the catalyst for, but she'll go down as the greatest Japanese wrestler to come to WWE in my opinion. In my opinion, there are arguments for other individuals, but speaking of other individuals, it always looked back, and it's funny how at WrestleMania it was 34 where Shinsuke and Asuka both won the Royal Rumble at the same time, two Japanese individuals, and I'm like, man, they are about to get that great Japanese marketing. They're about to appeal to a new demographic because this was the years where Jinder Mahal won, even though he's not really, but Jinder Mahal won. They were letting, let the Latino guys, Alberto Del Rio back in the day. They're trying to tackle demographics. I'm like, oh, they're trying to get the Japanese demographic. Oh, that'd be great. I'd love to see a WrestleMania in Japan, blah blah blah, and then you make them lose. So they just gave up on getting the Japanese demographic because why would you build up Asuka and Shinsuke as these two dominant forces that you have both of them lose to Charlotte Flair and AJ Styles? That's nasty work. They both should have won that year, and they didn't have to have long title reigns because when Charlotte beat Asuka for that, she beat Asuka. I don't remember the significance of Charlotte Flair's reign where Asuka didn't, get the belt off of Charlotte Flair. I don't remember the significance of the reign after that. Like the whole reign was about Asuka beating her, and then they dropped the ball. It reminds me of the Triple H versus Booker T situation where Booker T should have beat Triple H for the belt. It was a bad call, bad decision, and then you could have just opened up a whole new market, New Japan. You could have did some type of business. I had to cut the video. I started yapping a little bit, but you know what I wanted to talk about as well with Shinsuke Nakamura, bro. Like I said, I do think that they found the solution with Iyo Sky, and I think Julia is gonna be fine. But man, the way they dropped the ball with Shinsuke Nakamura, the way that I feel they dropped the ball with Asuka, just not as her career, because she has belts, she has accomplishments and things like that. She's a Royal Rumble winner, she's a Money in the Bank winner, she has multiple championship runs, but all of that just sometimes feel like nothingness. You know what I'm saying? Like I would say her SmackDown Women's Championship run was a good run. The one she had and Bianca took it from her was a good run to get Bianca to take the belt from her. But other than that, it's kind of like some of those runs were nonsense runs, and it's of course it's during the time period as well. That time period, WWE was going through some things. When after between like 2017 through beginning of 2019, almost 2020, maybe the whole 2019 low key, they were going through some things. But man, look at Shinsuke Nakamura, bro. They gave him they almost redeemed themselves. They gave him one of the best gimmicks that you could ever think of for his character, and it didn't seem like a racist stereotypical. It ain't like he made him a ninja. It looked like he was paying homage to his homeland. He came out, he's basically the last samurai. He won the United States Championship from LA Knight, and then you have LA Knight beat him ASAP because you need LA Knight at WrestleMania. Now, hindsight is 2020. You're gonna say no, they needed Jacob Fatu to get the belt. Jacob Fatu could have just beat up on Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, they love these fatal four-way triple threats so much. It could have been any justification to be completely honest, bro. And I don't even have a problem with Shinsuke losing the belt. He lost his brother at the time. He went back home, did his thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, him losing the belt, okay, he got family matters. But then Shinsuke wrestled the next week. So I'm like, they were going to take the belt off him regardless. I can't even give WWE an out on that. They were going to take the belt off of Shinsuke Nakamura regardless, because they needed LA Knight at WrestleMania and they wanted Jacob Fatu to go get a baby face. Crazy, man. It's just crazy. Shinsuke Nakamura ceiling in WWE was really IC a United States champion. That is disgusting. You paired that man with Rick Boogs, bro. I'm happy Asuka didn't have to do anything that damn silly. But Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka, when you book somebody as such a major threat, it's so off-putting later down the line where they're doing this goofy stuff. Like, of course, people have character and personality, but it's like Rick Boogs. That's the best you can do with Shinsuke Nakamura, Intercontinental Champion. That's the best we can do with Shinsuke Nakamura, the guy who went toe to toe with AJ Styles. Then we turn him heel. I'm like, okay, cool. We're gonna get heel Shinsuke to be to do his thing. No, nothing never amounted to nothing, bro. You gave him this cool character, cool theme song to come back, and nothing. Asuka's in the same boat. When she comes back, if she doesn't go straight after Iyo Sky and Damage Control is officially done, then there's no point. There's no purpose. I'm sorry that there's no point. There's no point. What her and Kyrie saying are gonna be a tag team. WWE women's tag teams don't get respect. They're gonna be a tag team that wrestles tag team matches every now and then. They're gonna beat up on Natalia and Maxine Dupree. No, we got to figure something else out, bro. Oscar deserves better, in my opinion. I want to know what y'all think, though, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for the love, support as always. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. And yes, an AEW long form video will be coming very soon. Let me know what y'all think, man. Peace out.